everyone, my name's Kay Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to create a very cute Christmas card that's nice and easy to do. This is kind of a Dutch door card because if you've ever looked at Dutch barn doors, they have like a section that opens on the bottom, and so that's what this looks like. And I actually received this idea in a swap from Susie Wood down in Iowa, and I absolutely loved it. And so I changed it up a little bit to make it more me, and I used this at Fall Flair. Then one of my downline cased the card, and she came up with a beautiful swap card with the Father Christmas stamp. And so I had a few people who are quite interested in learning how to do these Dutch door style cards. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you the stamp sets we're going to use today. We're going to use the Holly Berry Happiness bundle, and that looks like this. Now these bundles, even if the stamp set is not discontinued, the bundle is actually discontinued, and so you won't be able to buy the stamp set and the punch together as a bundle after, let's see, I think it's after January 3rd. And so I encourage you to get that now if you'd like to save 10%. The second thing that we're going to use is the Tin of Tags stamp set, which I believe is on sale right now through January 3rd. And so this would be a good one to pick up too if you haven't already gotten it. There's a great closeout sale on the Stampin' Up website, or you can go to my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and I have links there too. And then we're going to use the Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper. And this has been one of my favorites so far, and I can tell that my customers love it too, because the orders for this paper have just been out the roof ever since it's been introduced. And so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is set up our base card. Our base card is just one single sheet of real red cardstock cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then we're going to do a layer on top of this. This will also be real red. This is 2 1/4 by 11 inches, and then I've gone ahead and scored it at 5 1/2. So we'll go ahead and we will just fold along the score line here. And then we're going to glue this real red panel that I've just folded in half right on top of this other real red panel. So I'm going to get my multi-purpose liquid glue, add a little glue all the way around, just like a little frame, and then we're going to set this right here onto our card. We're going to make this flush to the bottom, and so let me go ahead and just make sure that's nice and flush. And there we go. So we've just created this sort of Dutch style barn door card. So it opens from the bottom, and now all that we need to do is decorate it. So I'm going to get my Stampin' mat into the picture, and I have a panel of Tip Top Taupe. This is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to stamp some snowflakes on here. So we're going to do tone on tone. So I'll be using the Tip Top Taupe pad, and then the snowflake is from Tin of Cards. So we're just going to randomly stamp this all over. And then let me go ahead and fill in some of these gaps here. And a little bit here. And then one more. So we've just gone ahead and filled in that Tip Top Taupe panel with tone on tone stamping. Now we can go ahead and, using our multi-purpose liquid glue, we're just going to glue this panel right on the top part of our card. So I'll open this up and we'll just center this in just like so. And there we have it. So now let's go ahead and do this inside panel. So we're going to need Whisper White paper. This is 2 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on with Snail. I already stamped this in advance just to save a little bit of time. So the sentiment is from the Holly Berry Happiness stamp set, and I've stamped that in real red. All right, so the inside part of our card is done, and now let's work on this outside part. Now you could use any of the Designer Series papers, and so although on the card that I did in advance, I had used this sort of dark background. Now I'm going to still use gingerbread paper, but I'm going to use more of a lighter background. So this is 2 by 5 1/4, and all we're going to do is, again, use a little multi-purpose liquid glue, and we'll just glue this right here onto this front panel. Make sure that's nice and even. And now it's just a matter of layering up some squares. So let me get the squares into the picture. The first square is a 2 3/4 inch square piece of real red paper. So I'm going to again use some multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm just going to glue this into place. Now I just put the glue on the lower half of the square, kind of in a triangle shape, and so that is going to go right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually lining up this square so that these corners are even to the top part of this open panel. I'll put it like this so you can see that a little bit better. All right, so now the next layer is a layer of foil. This is our silver foil, 2.5 inches square, and I'll put this on with a little bit of snail. And we'll just set this right here and give that a little press. And then the next layer is a panel of Tip Top Taupe. So this is 2 1/4 inches square. And this time I'm also going to use a little bit of snail, just because snail sticks really well to foil. So we'll get this on here, and that is down. Now we're going to need a 2-inch circle cutout. So I did that in advance. So here's my 2-inch circle punch out. I just used my 2-inch circle punch. And I'm going to get my real red ink pad. And then I'm going to use the sentiment, Joy to the World, from Tin of Tags. And we're just going to stamp this right here. Now I did stamp it so that I have a little bit of room down here for my cute little bow. And I did that in advance. I just went ahead, I stamped a bow from the Hollyberry Happiness, and then I put a couple of glue dots onto the bow part of this bow, and then we're just going to set this right here underneath Joy to the World. Then we'll put a couple of dimensionals on this. I like to use 3 on circles, and we'll set that in there. We'll take off the peelies. And then we're ready to put this on our card. So here's the card, and we'll set the Joy right smack dab into the center of this Tip Top Taupe panel, and our card is done. So here's the card I've just done. Here is the card I had done in advance. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you'd like to place a product order, be sure to visit my blog where I have links to my online ordering page. Have a great day. Bye-bye.